Alright, so they put out a new patch for this today. Most of the changes were regarding the enemies. General theme is less armor, things like that. The one major change they made is that Blaze can jump cancel the fourth part of her S string, which was going to give her new combo routes. So let's do one level here. This is actually my second take because, for whatever reason, my recording software decided I wasn't worthy of using it. It's just kind of frustrating because I talk for like 15 minutes while playing. So there's the jump cancel there. I was the one that suggested giving Blaze more buffs, because generally, in any video game where there's any kind of balance change, people generally want, you know, there to be something to compensate for a character getting nerfed. And until this patch that just dropped today, there wasn't anything of the sort. I remember when Wizard of Legend came out and they put out a massive nerf patch and people hated it, so they like reverted I think almost everything because they realized, especially in a roguelike where the odds are already kind of against you, that it's not fun to just have everything nerfed and have there be like no equivalent buff to some of the more useless or underused things. Clean run so far. It's uncharacteristic for me. I tend to have everything go wrong whenever I record. I don't do Let's Plays, but in the olden days of YouTube, that was called the Let's Play curse. Where you play completely fine, and then as soon as you turn the record button on, your recording software, capture card, or whatever, then everything goes wrong. Right now the game is cooperating. Nice. Well, I haven't tested all of the changes yet. Most of them are enemy-based. Nobody else got anything this patch. I think this game is at a better spot than it was. I know some people dislike the nerfs and things like that, but I always thought that this game is quite skill-based. It's just certain things were unfair, and it didn't always feel like you were in control of the situation. One of the things about this game that was always frustrating in the initial versions was that the enemies could walk circles around you, and unless you were Cherry or Adam, the Hunter family, basically, you didn't really have any options to deal with it. Now the enemies are kind of more in tune with what the player is capable of. The game feels far more fair. It feels more fun. I know some people have suggested maybe adding a harder difficulty, which has all the changes reverted. I think the best way to please both sides, the people that did feel that the game is unfair, even people like Anthopants, who can clear this on Mania like it's nothing, he's been very open, to put it nicely, about the things he dislikes about the game. And I think if he dislikes the game in some ways, I think the changes were definitely warranted. I think the best way to fix it would be to just add a legacy branch of the game. You may remember Cuphead. Cuphead is not a game I played, but I did watch the speedruns for it back when it came out. Cuphead had a lot of weapon swapping exploits that you could do to do more damage than what was intended. You could break the game, actually literally break the game, make it so that you couldn't progress if you skip phases and things like that. They actually did go they went in a couple months later and they actually fixed all those things. But they realized that it was kind of screwing over the speedrunners and the people who just wanted to play the game with its original, vision and design intent. So what they did is they added a legacy branch. A legacy branch was basically just the way the game launched on release day. And that was kind of the best of both worlds for that community, as far as I know. Cuphead is not a game I played myself, but people were generally pleased with that solution. They were able to nerf the game and take out the things that they didn't like, from the development side, but for the speedrunners and people who just wanted the authentic experience, that option was there too. I don't really think this game needs another difficulty. This game actually does difficulty far better than pretty much any beat-em-up I've played, pretty much action games in general. It's very common for the developers to just add a couple extra zeros to their HP, or double or triple it, and that's all that changes, or you get killed in 2 or 3 hits, which is exhilarating in its own way, but it also slows down the pacing, and it's not particularly fun in most games. I think it's cooler in this game. They just made it so that they attack more often. They don't get a single pixel of more health. They basically just are more aggressive, and the enemies are doubled, which is fun in kind of a Musou game type way. You have the odds are against you in a way because you don't have ridiculous hitboxes like in a Musou game. I don't really think another difficulty is necessary. I think like once this patch is finalized, they're still not aware of when this will actually release. I guess it seems like it will happen at this point, from what I understand, but they don't have a release date for it yet. Like when it is finally released for everybody, for the public, I think they should just make the current branch. They should just make a branch for that, and then people can play it that way if they want, and then that way they can continue to update the game further. It's pretty obvious at this point that this game did way better than they thought it would. You know, beat 'em ups are kind of I wouldn't call them a dead genre, but they're pretty dormant lately. There haven't really been that many games, and there hasn't been a Streets of Rage game, like an actual mainline Streets of Rage game that's not fan made, like an officially made one, in 26 years. So there wasn't really a lot of brand loyalty or recognition to go off, but people were really thirsty for a beat 'em up that they could play with their friends that has good, updated, modernized mechanics, and did quite well. I'm pretty sure they will do DLC at some point, so I think they'll probably tune the game farther when or if that happens. But I think a legacy branch would probably be the best way to please both worlds. So I will pass that on to Jordy. I will do more gameplay of this with the other characters. Maybe later this week. I have some other projects I need to finish up in my backlog before I can get to that, but I will do that as soon as I can, and I'll show more gameplay. Thanks for watching, and if you have any more feedback, go ahead and post it in the comments. I will send it to Jordy directly, and we'll see what happens from there. Thanks for watching.